Thus, the film begins at a warm house where a family has come to spend their holidays. Like every year, this year too, they came to this warm house from their home, where they were going to invite their family and friends for a party. In Simon's family, along with his wife, there were 3 sons, 2 twins. But the eldest son and Simon's wife were busy with preparations. Then the doorbell rang. His sister had already arrived with her husband and daughter. After a while, their other 2 friends and the last friend James and his wife Sophie also arrived. These people don't like Sophie much because she was from a poor background and all of them were affluent, held good positions. Even in their wider circle, there were royal friends who had come to their house. She was quite odd, the one who would bring up conversations with me. She would get everything done, yet she still requested pudding, which they had not prepared, so now the girl's father and Simon went out to get pudding. It wasn't a normal party, its nature began to unfold as time passed. At this time, the children were doing whatever they wished, smoking hookah and using abusive language, and all of this was allowed by their parents. When Simon and the girl's father return home with the pudding, it is revealed that they did not buy the pudding but stole it. Furthermore, at their house there was no drinking water left. For that, they do not make any arrangements. Night falls, it becomes dinner time, and they have dinner. It was celebrated like a Christmas party. But the better thing was that they had very little food. Everyone's plates only had a little bit of food, and these people did not even fight about it. Although these people were very hungry, they still had no supplies. What could have been the reason? Because of news, these people were able to hear Quinn's speeches, who was telling everyone to stay relaxed. And themselves were in a bunker at this time, meaning the world was being subjected to a great disaster, and because of this, they also lacked supplies. Pudding also had to break a shop to steal something, emptying all the cities and settling on their own, hiding in houses. Their dinner was also not normal. Because this was not a Christmas dinner, but a farewell dinner. These people were celebrating their last moments before death because of the devastation that was happening in the world. None had any chances to escape it. Death was also before them, and the reason was a very thick cloud that went to whichever city it entered. How, with the existing circumstances, it would kill all the people of that city by engulfing them. These people also know that soon the cloud will come over them. Until now, wherever that cloud has been, people have died in very horrible deaths, and all these people consider themselves lucky because at least they are still alive. These people knew that the cloud would come here by morning. Scientists and the government had to explain how it first attacks the respiratory system, if it attacks the lungs, and then they attack the entire brain and nervous system, ultimately killing humans. The government had no solution to stop this cloud. They couldn't save humans from death, but they could certainly reduce the pain of their death, for which they created a pill that, as soon as you take it, without pain, you would die. The name of this pill was Exit Pill. The government stated that as soon as you see that the cloud has reached you, then you should take this pill and commit suicide without pain. They were telling all people to commit suicide, and all these people were obeying the government's instructions. Because they didn't commit deadly harm themselves, nor could they bear to watch themselves die a painful death. This exit pill was available to all these people. All these people were about to take the pill together after dinner and give up their lives, but Sophie steadfastly refuses to do so in her defiant stance. Because she is pregnant, she says that doing so would harm her child, but she doesn't want to become a killer. Sophie also believes that suicide is not entirely right. Who knows? She might survive all this. Now Simon's son Art shares the belief, unable to see logic in suicide. People here try to understand Sophie, saying, "Look, Sophie, no child is surviving, it's up to you to decide. There is one option, but the poor didn't even receive this option. Those people also died desperately. No one was able to survive." Sophie thinks of her parents who were killed last night. And they were killed in the same painful death because they had no hope either, and Phils could not reach them. This was the last night of their lives because it was completely some plan to enjoy, some play games, some watch movies, and here these people also stay happy by reminiscing old memories. It turns out that this farmhouse actually belonged to Simon's wife's mother, with whom he had discussed the entire farm for the last time. At that moment, he did not see that those dark clouds had come very close to them. Therefore, she hastily swallows her prescribed pills and willingly gives herself a peaceful and easy death, even while being watched by these people. Now Art could not understand why Gourmet was giving them the option to kill them, so his mind reasoned that they had already seen how things are in other countries. Where no one survived, all are terrible dead bodies. Our government at least wants to reduce the suffering caused by death. Despite explaining his diet, all this seemed like foolishness to him in his mind. Only one thought was running through his mind: what would happen when Dhun's paddle left from here? Would he survive or not? Would the world remain the same after that cloud dissipates? Art also felt that their government was deliberately making those people commit suicide. It has never happened that 100% of the world's population died from a catastrophe. Some people will survive, but some great authorities are deliberately doing this to automatically reduce the world's population. It could also be that after being exposed to that gas, the people who were saved started turning into zombies. And the government is making everyone commit suicide to stop the destruction caused by zombies. He thinks, if I hadn't taken that pill and became a zombie after the gas dissipated, then how would life truly be? Here, he still doesn't talk to his mother about this matter because she was deeply shocked. He had just recently ensured that R's grandmother did not die alone. Instead, he goes to Sophie and talks with her entirely about this pill, because he knows that Sophie's mind has changed from all these elders. Sophie also tells him that she won't take the pill, and seeing this makes Art even more determined. He firmly decides that he too will not commit suicide over this pill. In the meantime, his mom comes here, so he also tells his mom that he has now made a decision. Neither will Sophie take the pill, nor will he. Upon hearing this, his mom suddenly realizes how foolish a decision her son was making. They take him outside and seat him in the van, starting to explain to him, "Son, death is inevitable. Surely you'll die, but why die with regret?" Here, his deceased mother was giving him only one option, which involved dying, while in his heart, he had hoped that he would try to give hope to his mom and dad as well. But his dead mom had lost all hope. She had trusted only in the government's words. Even the last time, she explained to Art that she didn't want all of them to die peacefully. So when Art realizes the severity of death and sees that his dead mom wants to kill him by any means, he flees from there. And in the meantime, his deceased mom appears, indicating that a cloud was about to come near them. As Art, feeling frightened, moves away from here, he reaches a car. There he sees that the entire family had committed suicide by drinking the same poison at that exit, but there was still a small child alive in that car. Before he could do anything to the child, Art inhales the gas present in the cloud, and from afar, his dad, Simon, who had already seen this, closing his knife, approaches Art. And he quickly takes Art and goes inside his house, but Art's condition began to deteriorate due to the gas. After inhaling that gas, everyone understood what was happening. Upon witnessing Art's deteriorating condition, everyone present immediately realized and fully understood that very soon they would also perish. They ultimately decide to take the exit pill and proceed into a secluded room with their respective families so that together they can die peacefully without suffering or fear. Here, Simon's sister also feeds a pill to her sleeping friend, but because she feeds her while she's asleep, the friend vomits and her pill comes out. Simon's family was also ready to commit suicide. They consider giving a pill to Art too, but see that he had already died 8 hours earlier. His death was also very gruesome. His eyes, nails and ears were torn off and blood was flowing. Seeing this, Simon and his wife became very sad, but then they all lay down on the bed together they examined Art's empty pill bottle, and now even Sophie's mind was beginning to undergo significant changes. She did not desire such a painful death, but somewhere deep within her heart, she felt compelled to act. She had hoped to survive like Art, but her husband here began to force her. "Sophie, if you don't take this pill, I won't take it either and will die with you in a painful death." She loved her husband very much, so in complete agreement with his words, she also chose to take the pill together with her husband, and soon they both died. In the other room, the stubborn girl also fetched a pill, took it herself and lay down there. Now the girl who had vomited after taking the pill, her friend did not want her to die peacefully herself, and her other companion who had vomited was injured, so she ruthlessly stabs the girl's abdomen with a large, sharp, deadly knife, causing her immediate and fatal death in that location. Afterwards, she herself takes a lethal pill and dies, and thus, all the people who are presently residing in this house inevitably die their own deaths through a range of possible circumstances. A short time following all their respective deaths, Dhoyangapata steps forward to pass over each one of them. It used to take several hours for those clouds of black smoke to clear, but in the morning, we saw that the weather here had finally returned to normal. Now it had begun to snow heavily in this area, and every single person had perished except for one young child named Art, who had chosen not to take that life-saving pill. Suddenly his eyes open and he comes back to life. His theory was correct. He was saying that maybe after Madhav's departure we would be fine. Regardless of whether we managed to survive or if some individuals escaped death because of that ominous cloud, these particular people chose to ignore his warnings and ultimately committed suicide. In such a difficult and dire situation, even the slim 3 to 4% chance of survival was lost by them, but this child did not lose hope, and thus the child survived and along with that demonstrated remarkable resilience. The movie concluded with a highly mysterious and ambiguous ending, leaving viewers uncertain whether the child would remain normal or eventually transform into a zombie.